Aces HC Becky Hammon makes locker room U-turn after playoffs loss versus Fever. Game 1 against the Fever was not a good look for Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon. The Aces coach had made a bold statement after their Seattle Storm win. "You dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?" a reporter had asked. Becky Hammon answered with confidence that they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. No, that they hooped us in one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business." They certainly couldn't take care of business tonight as the Indiana Fever hooped them 89-73 again. Hammon's Aces stumbled as the Fever dominated throughout the game. In the postgame, she cooled the rhetoric, resetting to a measured mindset. She said via Scott Agnes, "Our problem was on the defensive end, and then not moving the ball on the offensive end. We'll have to talk about it in the locker room." Nobody on that Aces squad could guard Kelsey Mitchell. She went off for 34 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. This was the first time that a Fever player scored more than 30 points in a playoff game since the 2012 WNBA Finals, and that special performance was acknowledged by Becky Hammon. She, Mitchell, made every single freaking shot it felt like. She said after the game, "She had a hot night, and we let her get going. The Aces just couldn't defend." At one point, you had Mitchell with the hot hand, or you had a completely open Odyssey Sims, who put up 17 points. The game was pretty much even until the halftime break, but the Aces let it slip in the third quarter, conceding 27 points. There was no way back from there. They have been beaten at home by the Indiana Fever for the first time since the franchise moved to Las Vegas in 2018. And the performance had an unwanted flashback to their worst 2025 days. Becky Hammon's talk needed after Fever loss echoes Minnesota setback. This is not the first time Hammon has called out Vegas' 8th best defense. The defense was atrocious. It was atrocious. Hammon had said after the team suffered a 109-78 blowout at the hands of the Minnesota Lynx. The 31-point drubbing was Vegas' worst since a 38-point beatdown by the Liberty on August 6, 2023. It was a low point for the Lynx in the 2025 season, and the loss to the Fever brought some memories back. The Aces trailed by 16 points this afternoon, their largest deficit in any game since their 53-point loss to the Lynx on August 2nd, wrote ESPN journalist Alexa Filippa. To make matters worse, the Aces were the favorites this time around. Lynx owned the moment then. Now the Aces were the ones with firepower, and Michael Vopel underscored just how heavy this loss is with a shocking stat. The Indiana Fever were 8.5-point underdogs going into today's game at LV Aces. Their victory ties for the largest upset in at WNBA semis or finals since 2017. Vopel wrote, "Now you can look at this in one of 2 ways. The Aces could be back to their form from the first half of 2025. At one point, they were expected to miss out on the 2025 playoffs altogether, going 13-15 off their first 28 games. However, the Lynx game flipped the switch, and they went on an unprecedented 16-game run. We will only find out which Aces turn up in Game 2 as the 4-time MVP Aya Wilson chases her 3rd title."